Yeah, thanks for meeting with us, Santos. Kevin and I are here today. We want to just do a quick chat between each other to help talk about our new exciting event coming up in here in California, in Burbank, near Los Angeles. And yeah, so we thought we would just introduce each other and kind of how we got involved and that sort of thing. So my name is David Leidy. I'm a filmmaker, and it was kind of funny how Kevin and I met because we actually didn't meet through Santos, which you would expect. We met at a film competition together, and Kevin was an actor and writer, and I'm a writer and director. And so we started talking about possibly collaborating for this event, and nothing ended up happening between us for that, but we were just kind of in communication for a while. And neither of us said anything, but I believe it was how long after? Maybe a few months or something like that. I can't remember. It wasn't too long after, maybe 4 months or something like that. And we're sitting down in our chairs watching Santos Bonacci deliver his beautiful wisdom to us, and in Hayward, California. And I look over to my right. And I see this guy, and I'm like, man, he looks just like that Kevin guy I met at that film competition. And I thought, no, there's no way. This is five hours. How long was the drive? I can't remember. Something like that. 5 or 6. It was a haul. It was a haul of a drive, and to make it out there. But Santos is always worth it. So I thought, there's no way there's somebody as crazy as me who drove 6 hours out here, and especially not Kevin at that film festival. And I look over again. I'm like, man, that guy looks exactly like Kevin. And then he said his name. He's like, hey, I'm Kevin. And I'm like, there's no way he's that Kevin, though. And I'm like, but it has to be. And then finally we look over each other. I think it was the third time, and we both looked over at each other at the same time. And we're like, are you? And we're like, yeah, no. And so from there, we felt like, I don't know, something was in the air, and we had to collaborate on this with something with Santos. So we were kind of in communication for a while, and Kevin decided to host an event from where you're from, right?
Yeah,
Sacramento. And so he put on a really cool event with Santos there. And I made the long haul again out there. I think that one was 8 hours. 8-hour drive, I think. Yeah, you guys put on an amazing presentation, and I think the second one I saw and Kevin was involved in everything, I thought, wow, okay, I have to get involved somehow. I don't know how yet, and I'm a pretty busy guy, but I was like, I'm gonna make this work. I'm gonna make this happen. So Kevin and I really started talking about doing something here, and kind of went from there.
Great.
So I don't know if you want more about like my background and stuff, but I think I'm boring, but but if it helps, then I'll go into it.
It's up to you. Yeah, for sure. Why not?
Oh, sure. Yeah, actually, I'll make it about kind of how I got into syncretism and all that. It's weird because I always felt like with Santos, I think maybe I told you this, Santos. I watched one video of yours for the first time back maybe late 2014, early 2015, around then. And I thought, man, this guy sounds absolutely insane. He was talking about something about Saturn and the energy of Saturn and returning or something like that. It was something planetary, and I was like, I have no idea what this guy's saying, but he seems absolutely convinced by it. And I had kind of already figured out a lot of truths in like government corruption and all that kind of stuff, and that sort of led to the other stuff. But what got to it, I think, was I watched a video of him. This is a man who I think is very special when you put a whiteboard in front of him. He can do magical things. And the next video, I think I gave a try. I thought there could be something there because he seemed like a really smart guy. The way he spoke and everything seemed very educated. So I watched another video of him delivering this information in front of a whiteboard, and he really broke it down. And then that's when things sort of really started to click with me. And I always felt before that I had some book ideas, and I was working on different projects and stuff related to these kind of wisdoms and greater truth, and removing the veil, those sort of things. But Santos, I think, was really the first person for me where I was able to really connect the ability, because I think it's the gift that people are fortunate enough to have, to be able to see these things and to be able to connect these things. So he was the first person to really put a term to it, syncretism, and for me, and the first person to really find the greater truth in so many things and connect the dots between so many things, because I think it's always been in my nature to do that. And in Western astrology, we both share in our charts Moon in Pisces, and that's kind of the sign that I always attribute to syncretism, because I find a lot of people who have that sign are like extremely syncretic, just naturally in thought. And so that's where I felt like I really connected with him and what he was teaching, and yeah, it was such a blessing to kind of stumble upon him and to be able to really refine that gift, because I think you have gifts, but you have to be able to refine them. And I'm still working on mine. I know Santos has spent 30 years refining his. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's really a beautiful thing, I think, going on right now. And it's so cool now that we're able to kind of ground ourselves and be able to present these greater truths to the world. So
beautiful.
Yeah.
Right. It's always good to hear someone's backstory, to know who you're working with. It's fantastic. So appreciate that, David.
Yeah, of course.
Wonderful. And also, David has already written a book on syncretism. I would say that if you were to publish it the way it is right now, it would be a best-selling book already, and yet you're still going to work on it. Yeah, when David came to San Francisco, he brought his book along, and I thought, wow, it was like, if you've seen Manly P. Hall's encyclopedia, The Secret Teachings, it's pretty much, for me, it's on the par with that. And I thought, wow, why haven't you published this yet? So well done, man. Hats off to you there for making already a book that's almost publishable.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. You're too kind. But yeah, Santos and I are collaborating on it, and we're really excited to show it to people. I think what we want to do is release it in small volumes, because naturally it's in my nature to be a perfectionist. So I want to find that balance between making sure all the T's are crossed and just getting it out there. So it's been such a blessing though to have your support with it and everything, and for you to be involved and to have given me all the slides and everything that have gone into it now and all that. So it's exciting. It's exciting times right now, I think.
Cheers, brother. I hope the collaboration can produce something really good for people, because when they come to the Los Angeles presentation, they will pretty much see how to teach syncretism on the atomic model, which I'll be talking about. But I'll get to that in a minute. I think maybe we should let Kevin introduce himself then, and then I'll talk about how.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's do that first.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm Kevin Kirtlan. I was the guy who when I first met Santos in Hayward with David, like he was explaining, he had mentioned a Sacramento presentation, so that kind of intrigued me to go up there and find out, like, oh, he wants to go to Sacramento, like I'm from there, like I have to be a part of that. And prior to that, I had got a reading, a birth chart reading with Santos, and I think it was August 30th, and he had just come to the States, and I was like, he's here in California? Like, this is too weird. And it wasn't just that, it was the fact that me and Santos had the same birthday of March 24th. And I was like, there's no way this guy has the same birthday as me. And that was something that intrigued me from the start. When I first found syncretism, I was like, man, this guy's really speaking to me. He's nailing it like no one has ever taught something. And I was like, I've had this weird connection. I was like, man, I get this guy. And then when I found out that you were coming here, I was like, wow, he's really in California. This is cool. And then I was like, I'm gonna do this. And we go up there, and it was such a cool, intimate feeling in Hayward, being in that room. It was at a hotel, and it didn't matter where it was. Like, it didn't matter where we were. It was just these people were sitting in a room listening to Santos speak truth. And I love that. And the people, the friends that we made there, and just those conversations we had afterwards with you, Santos, and you being so available, it was something I wasn't expecting. And I think that's what's so beautiful about it, is that you're so available to anyone who seeks the truth. And that got me thinking, and I was like, well, I'm such a conversation kind of guy. Like, I do Uber for work the last 5 years, and that's all I do is talk to people and have these deep conversations in an intimate setting like a car. And so that's kind of where I am. I'm an actor, I'm a writer, but I love having conversations. I love filming just two people talking. And I think that's kind of what I've segued into, and what I'm interested in is just, and like the whole world really, with podcasts and everything that's out there, there's nothing better than just hearing two people talk. And if they're talking about such interesting topics like syncretism and just truth that hits you in the heart, and you know that's what's really going on, and stripping away all the nonsense in the world. I think that's just where I am, and it's just kind of it's so cool that, you know, me and David went up there to Hayward, and we're like, no way, like how is this possible? And of course it's possible, it's meant to be. And then we did Sacramento around Halloween last year, and then we knew that this was going to happen, that we were going to have a presentation in LA, and it's fitting that it's going to be in Burbank. You know, I think it's a good location for it's quiet in Burbank. It's still in LA, but it's a good spot, and everything's shaping up nicely. And so I think it's good for syncretism for us to kind of build this model that Santos will go into here in a second, of just bringing people together. And it's so powerful how we've all learned about all this knowledge through our computers, and we're fortunate for that. But we still can't forget that we have to meet and be with each other, and to get that energy from people who are on the path as well. It's what's caused this. Like, it's only because we met in person and we got to know each other in person. And I think that's what we're missing. It's what's missing in despite the messages that are being sent so rapidly in today's world, we still need to remember that we have to meet in person. And that's what we're trying to do. And we're trying to set that model for people to continue this elsewhere, to have these meetups and kind of have it be a more professionally aligned kind of environment where people can meet, and then have it be a higher production value. And I think that's what we're going for with this Burbank presentation.
Yeah, and I feel like my role in all of this has kind of been to, I mean, Kevin, you as well, but I felt like where I could really bring my attention and gifts to helping Santos promote his work and help syncretism grow. And that whole community was, I felt the same as Kevin, I felt in the beginning it was all really exciting, and there were connections being made and things. And then because I would say probably around late 2014, early 2015 is when the movement, I really saw it blow up. and especially late 2015, early 2016. There've been kind of waves, but more recently, I would say it's died down a lot in a way, and there appears to be a huge divide now between regular society. Obviously, just coming on to some of these things, but there seems to be a huge divide now between people who have come onto these kind of truths and people who aren't willing to really look at it. And so I feel like where I come in big part, is to help narrow that divide, or at least, bring down the borders a little bit, and help integrate it more into society. Because if we don't find a way to integrate it, it'll die down and nothing will happen with it. So I think that's where we feel like Kevin and I have felt that what we're really trying to do with this event is do something that integrates both worlds. We're trying to present something to the general public that's professional, scholarly, and all those sort of things. And it has the kind of spectacle, so to speak, of a regular event that you would see out here. Even more so, actually, I would say, if we really pull this thing off, which I think we actually may. I think we will actually. I think it's going to be something really. I think it's going to be something really spectacular.
Yeah, and just to follow up on that, I remember watching Santos, your videos. I think in your European tour in 2013, when you were in the UK, I believe that was when you were there, right?
Yep.
And you had bigger audiences, and it's just, that's what we're trying to accomplish, and what we're trying to urge people, that you obviously deserve a bigger audience, and that's what we're encouraging people to. If they are in the Los Angeles area, please try and come. Like it makes the event so much better for Santos to be presenting to a larger room. And we already know his following, and we already know that there's a lot of people out there that are on to his teachings and syncretism in general. But if you are in the LA area, we please don't hesitate to come. Like it makes the biggest difference the more people are there, because it's just, you're gonna meet more people, and then it'll just spread from there.
I think this is really going to be an event that we've talked about it before, but I really think this is going to be an event that it's really going to, I think, change the course of the dialogue right now. And I think it's going to, I think it's really going to be a historical event. Like, I think it's going to be something really magical. So, yes, it will be recorded, and we don't know, we haven't talked about what capacity, like it'll be recorded and how it will be released, how we're going to edit it and things like that. But it's going to be, Santos's, by far, it's going to be his most professional video yet, with Kevin and I both being in film, and I'm heavily on the production side of things. So we're going to make sure that it's a spectacular production. But if you can, that being said, yes, it'll be released in some capacity online, but to actually be there in the room with Santos, I think is going to be a whole other experience. And I think people are really going to miss out if they don't make it out. And yeah, we're really hoping that we can get as many people as possible. We've actually been sort of surprised, I would say, already by the amount of tickets that we've already sold. So we're hoping to keep up that momentum, and hoping to really, I have good feelings about this one. So.
And this in Los Angeles is the biggest market, I believe, Santos. You did you present in London?
Yes, I did. Yes, that was good.
That would have been the second biggest market outside of, San Francisco, yes, but we're actually doing it in LA. So this is what we're trying to say, is like we're in a big market. Let's get the word out. Let's. Too many people missed out on Sacramento and San Francisco, and they didn't know about it. I think that's why we're making this video to spread awareness. Don't miss it, because we don't know when Santos is going to come back to the LA area. He's got all kinds of plans of where he may go after this. So we got 2 weeks until the presentation. It's going to be beautiful, and we want everyone to be there that has a chance or is thinking about coming. Just come. It's even if you're flying in from somewhere else, fly into Burbank, because it's right down the street from the airport. it's literally, the airport's right there. So we couldn't have placed it in a better location for people thinking about flying in for the weekend. It's perfect. You fly into the airport and it's literally down the street. So that's another important thing for people to keep in mind if they're thinking about flying in from somewhere close.
And drive out too. I mean, if you live in Las Vegas or you live in another state, you can make it over. You know, like I said, I've done 8-hour drives to see this man perform. So
yeah,
he's worth it. So yeah, don't hesitate. I mean, I've done the drive a few times from Missouri. I'm from Missouri, which that's like a 26-hour drive. I wouldn't recommend doing that straight, but wherever you are, especially if you're in the U.S., should really consider coming out, because it's something that, like Kevin said, we may not get a whole lot of other opportunities to really see happen like this. So
nice. Well, as you were saying, David, things get refined. As we go, we do refinements. So I really think that this presentation will be about refining the method and the model that I've been teaching all along. So all is ATUM is what the theme will be. So when I first thought about all is ATUM, I thought to myself, well, that would have to be provable. The Egyptians just wouldn't say all is ATUM and just leave it at that and just have some enigmatic aphorism, maxim that no one could understand, and it's just, you know, hypothetical, theoretical, conceptual, and it's not a real thing. Well, I thought to myself, no, it's got to be real. If all is ATUM, and other cultures have similar expressions, like in India, all is Om, and I think they have a derivation of that, which is all is Atma. Well, when you think of Atma and ATUM, you see that they are the same word. So I put it to the test, and I thought to myself, well, if all is ATUM, that means ATUM must be a word which designates or which stands in for everything. It has to be the human being, it has to be the solar system, it has to be the atom, it has to be all other things, like it has to be a country, it has to be a nation, it has to be a town, it has to be all things, it has to be all words. So that's the way I treated it, and that's the way I'm going to present all is ATUM. I'm going to show that everything is in fact atomic, because that's what they were trying to say. The Greeks echoed this as well. Every culture has always spoken about the atom being the model, the unit of all things physical, material in the world. So that's how I'm going to approach it. I'm going to be talking about the atomological model, rather than calling it the atomic model, the atomological model, because it is logical and it has, everything can be derived from the true model of the atom. So first and foremostly, we're going to learn what an atom really is and what it is not. And you know, that might sound a bit pretentious to most people, thinking, hey, I'm just a musician, really. I think that's the most consistent and stable thing that I've done up until syncretism turned up in my life. I think the most consistent and long-lasting thing I've ever done is music. So how's a musician with no PhDs and no accreditations and whatnot gonna do that, when already, you know, civilizations, nations, and entire volumes of books have been spoken about the atom and how it works, etc. Well, this is what I think. If you can present a model that is able to penetrate and explain everything else, then you've got a real model.
Well, music is sound, and everything derives from sound. So in a way, it's like sound is sort of the true essence of nature.
Exactly. And the atom, turns out, is sonoluminescence, sound and light. Here's a new word that a lot of people are using, sonoluminescence. Well, this is what an atom is. Without going into exactly how I'm going to be extrapolating from the model of the atom to teach all things, suffice to say that it is sound and light. And so once you understand this, and then you use the model to be able to teach every other thing and connect it to every other field, the more your model penetrates into all other teachings, the more it is accurate. So, well, not only am I going to be spending a lot of time on the correct model, which is etymological and astrological, by the way, I'm also going to be teaching the method, the model and the method. There is a method to be able to teach. Once you know the true model, then you need to use the true method. And the method I use is the sine wave, the ecliptic. So we're going to just be extrapolating from the model the sine wave which it produces, and from there we're going to show how you can penetrate every other field of knowledge, of science that is known to man through the ecliptic method. So I also call it ecliptic science or ecliptic method. So what we're going to have is the correct model. Now that's a big statement to make, but most people who are intelligent will be able to fathom that the model is correct. It is correct. And we're going to be teaching and seeing the method as well. I have hundreds of slides, PowerPoint slides, that I've not released yet, and they will all be focused on the one word ATUM, mostly. There will be other two words as well. They will be the hyperbola and the torus field. And I've reduced those words to bull and tor. So there'll be three words, a trinity of words, which will be the root of all words. Atum, tor from torus field, and bull from hyperbola or hyperbola. And those are the three words. Now, for the smart people out there that have done a lot of research into magnetism and energy, etc., they will know what a torus is and what a hyperbola is. So I'll leave it at that. I have hundreds and hundreds of slides. The presentation will be from 11 to 4. We may actually add an hour or two to the end of that, speak to the venue people, and probably add to that. The ticket price will not change though, and so people can book ahead. Go ahead and book, and there may actually be another extra hour or two attached to the end of that. We'll see how we go. So there you go.
Perfect.
Nice.
Perfect. Thought maybe we could leave it at that and just give the information to where it's going to be and stuff. So people, you can go to all is ATUM. That's ATUM dot Eventbrite. Bright is BRITE.com. So that's allisatum.eventbrite.com. And that will be where the information and where you can get the tickets and things like that will be. The venue will be at 820 North Hollywood Way, Burbank, California, 91505. And so, yeah, that's the basic information of where it's going to be, and it's going to be on February 16th this year, and it'll start at 11. Yeah, so you can look for other information on Santos's Facebook page, on his YouTube channel, Twitter. all the social media platforms. And you can also reach out to me and Kevin. I'm at Facebook, David M. Leidy. Last name is Leidy. So you can just do facebook.com/David M. Leidy, Leidy. And you can friend request me and reach out to me. You can reach out to Kevin. Kevin, what are your plugs?
It's just Kevin Kirtlan, Kevin space Kirtlan. I'm on all platforms just as my name. So
Beautiful.
Yeah, please reach out if you guys have any questions. We hope to see everyone there. We want to get a full room. There's 100 seats. That's our max capacity, and so we really want to get as many people in there as possible, man. This is a great event space, and if you're in the Los Angeles area especially, and you're on to syncretism and Santos' teachings, please come. Please be there and meet us, and then it's gonna be great.
For sure,
Yep.
yeah. And
For sure.
I thought you could put a little plug or something at like a little icon on the video where it says like all is at tum.eventbrite.com,
Yeah.
and just leave it on the whole time, and then maybe do a voiceover in the beginning just saying all is at tum.eventbrite.com.
I'm great at voiceover. The pilot I just shot,
Awesome.
the
Beautiful.
opening of the pilot is my voice. So yes.
Beautiful. Awesome, dude. Awesome. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Too good. Well, as for the presentation, I'll just drop another little gem. There will be a new way of teaching syncretism for me. So I'm going to be using, I'll share that with people. The new way, if you want to really have something to meditate on, grab a astrological chart and have a look at that chart, because that is the key. It's the key to understanding everything etymological. Turns out astrology has all the answers, as I've been saying all along. Astrology, the word of God, is the mother of all sciences. So definitely the model is etymological, but it is also astrological, and the way I see it, they are one and the same. So if you want to be prepared for how to teach syncretism the best way, grab an astrological chart and look at it and try and study all of its parts and understand what it is, because it holds the key to everything, absolutely everything.
Great. We look forward to it. So, and we look forward to meeting you and everybody who comes and all that. So great seeing you guys.
Same.
Likewise. All is ATUM.
Love it. Love it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Okay, we'll sign off. We hope to see everyone there.
Yeah.
It's in 2 weeks, so all right, guys.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you.